I'm Sharon Mariguez, and thanks for tuning in. Happy winter solstice, or happy post-winter solstice if you're watching this after the winter solstice. I'm recording this on Sunday, December 21st, 2025. I am in my cozy apartment in Catania. It's been raining all day, so it's just like the perfect energy for a little opportunity to relax and restore and be surrounded by candles, be hugged by the warmth of my apartment, and to celebrate the shortest day of sunlight and the longest day of night as we move into cycling out of that and welcome the sun back in gradually, piano piano, as we say in Italian, little by little. And I wanted to offer you a little gift for the end of the year as we make that transition and share a practice that I usually do on my own. I've made it a little more, not elaborate, but just wanted to share some of the elements that I enjoy in a quiet and calm and peaceful transition and period of rest at the end of the year, when things can actually get kind of chaotic, even though nature is telling us to slow down. The other elements in our lives, consumerism, might be telling us, oh, you need to go buy another gift for someone, or go to this other holiday party, or just get a bunch of things done that you intended to do earlier in the year. And so this is an invitation. Maybe you do have those obligations, and that's cool, but this is an invitation and gift for you to give yourself to slow down, to take the chance for yourself to reflect on the past year, how you felt, how that's gone for you, without judgment, if possible, right? To take a moment to be in the present as you transition from this year to a new year, but to acknowledge that pause in transition, and then to take a moment to look ahead for the next year. And I will use some tarot cards as a point of inquiry and reflection for us as I sit in front of my altar that's full of candles, both real fire burning candles as well as these safe LED candles that I do love. Elements from nature, so herbs like sage, other plants and flowers found in nature as well. There's rosemary, olive branches, bay leaves from different places that I've spent here on the island of Sicily that I've collected and added. So it really makes me feel like connected to the land here, which I love. So if you want to pause the video, or while I talk just a little bit more, grab a cup of tea, something to write with, whether that's your journal and a pen or just a piece of paper to take down any reflections. I'll give you the chance to do that now. And while I do like this kind of like magical energy and vibe, the magic is in you. It's not in the cards. No disrespect, cards. But the magic is in you in the sense that I'm going to pull one card. So my energy is doing that. I'm doing it for you, whoever is watching. So we have that connection. But that will resonate for us all in different ways, but always perfectly relevant. So even if our experiences are different, the card will help us look inward to understand things. And I'm just gonna place the deck in front of me and put my left hand on top of it in my case. And then I will split the deck. And then I'll take a card from the middle of the deck, intended as a reflection on this past year, 2025. And the card that came up is the Four of Cups, luxury. And I will just share a little bit from this guidebook because I find it actually quite articulate and helpful in how to process the image. And so it's really about how you interpret it. How do you take the information that the universe gives you? So Four of Cups, luxury. Keywords: love, tenderness, care, emotional riches. So in this image, the pink lotus testifies to the love we have received from others. This is part of the emotional richness which fulfills us, expressing itself in our environment through beauty and luxury. The ability to accept this in humility and thankfulness reveals an inner fullness which can be shared with others. The golden cups express the wealth of feelings at hand, whose roots are deep in the subconscious. This luxury is a responsibility as well as a gift. It demands measured behavior and awareness, as well as an ability to enjoy and share, to pass it on to others. The danger exists, however, that the emotions take on a life of their own. Moderation is thrown to the winds. We're driven by the emotions unconsciously. In this case, the clear, pale blue sky darkens and the water loses its still clarity. In times of luxury, it is best to be doubly awake, especially in familiar or intimate relationships. An express of devotion and care becomes oppressive. And so indication, you are being given or have been given much love and devotion. Enjoy it without becoming dependent on it. And then a question, in this past year of 2025, have you been in any relationship, or are you still currently in a relationship in which you feel restricted? And another question, are you expressively devoted to someone? Suggestion, after answering self-critically the question that I just asked, the two questions really, how do you look inward to deal with that situation? Any thoughts, reflections of what you've learned in the past year to process? And if it suits you, an affirmation that I offer you is, I enjoy being together with blank, whoever that person is, full of thankfulness and joy. I enjoy being together with blank, full of thankfulness and joy. So in this case, the luxury might be really focused on relationship, connection, community, rather than an object or material possessions. Right. A little pause for breath. Feel free, if you want to hit pause, to take down any thoughts, reflections that you'd like. Go right ahead. But I am going to draw our second card, which is whatever card was under our Four of Cups, Four of Cups, luxury, to indicate a little point of inquiry for this transition period that we're going through, the end of 2025 and the transition into 2026. And the card that comes up for this transitionary period is the Three of Wands, or Virtue. Three of Wands, Virtue. And as you look at this image, I will read from my companion, the Mirror of the Soul Tarot explanation. I really love this book so much. So Three of Wands, Virtue. Keywords: Sun in Aries specifically, if you're familiar with the zodiac. And other keywords: virtue, integrity, honesty, self-confidence, and no compromises. And so as you look at this card, the Three of Wands, the three wands bear lotus blossoms, which are in the process of opening. They're not fully open yet. This blossoming is the result of an inner awakening. Body, intellect, and spirit are in harmony. Out of this state, an integrity crystallizes, which allows for no lazy compromises. You perceive and allow your own power free play, never giving it over to someone else in an attitude of subjugation. Despite external dynamism, the center remains untouched and clear. And reflection on this point of internal stillness allows a new sense of self-confidence to come into being. And it guards against an overload of unnecessary problems. The wisdom within is strong enough to repulse any anxieties and doubts that may arise. The brooding, analytical considerations of the intellectual mind don't stand a chance when you're filled with life energy and a sense of vitality, which is symbolized by the color of orange that you see in this card. And so, some points of inquiry for you as you reflect on this transition in relationship to this theme of virtue the Three of Wands presents to us. Indications. Pay attention to your own point and internal stillness. Center yourself and overcome. Questions, two in particular. Are there any reasons for self-doubt? Do you yet doubt your virtues? And then affirmation. I have the power and virtue to reflect and know. I have the power and virtue to reflect and know. I have the power and virtue to reflect and know. Whew, yeah. Seems like an appropriate card for transition. The universe doesn't disappoint. And then finally, so if you would like to take a little more time to reflect, you can press pause and jot down anything, or without pen and paper, reflect on anything that brings up. And if you're continuing on with me now, or welcome back, we'll pull our third card to inspire our energy, our vibe, if you will, for the year to come. And that card is the second Trumps card, and it's the Priestess. Pretty amazing image, a lot going on there, very powerful, very magical, very unique. And so as you reflect on that image, let's go a little deeper and learn about the priestess and what she offers us in the coming year. So as you look at the second trumps card, the priestess, keywords, moon, so a counterpoint to the sun of the Three of Wands virtue we see. Moon, access to intuitive powers, healing, independence, inner equilibrium, increased self-confidence. The priestess is represented by the moon goddess Isis. She is surrounded by a fine network of light rays, an expression of her spiritual nature. Her essence is unrestricted independence. She is in touch with her intuitive abilities and can trust them completely. She perceives and is connected with her own inner voice, the internal guide and healer. This shows outwardly in her trust in and responsibility to herself. Like the camel, which can travel long stretches in the desert without water, you, when you have discovered your own inner spring, also radiate a satisfied sense of self-sufficiency. You find fertile oases, flowers, and fruit at the bottom of the card and the innermost reaches of your being. The more you accept yourself and share with others, the deeper the clarity of your perceptions will become. And that's represented by the crystals in the image. In the deck, the priestess is one of the strongest cards for balance, equilibrium, and harmony. The upper half of her, the priestess's body, expresses the feminine, receptive. This is accented by the upward swinging lines and the upward pointing crescent moons behind her head. And the crown is the moon, which receives light from the sun. Then from the navel down, her body expresses the male principle. The lines are straight, dynamic, direct in purpose. The bow and arrow in her lap accentuate this concept. And the priestess can indicate extrasensory perception and intuitive abilities such as clairvoyance, telepathy, creative visualization, empathy, intuitive knowledge, and healing powers. And these abilities arise in harmony with and in service to the ultimate cosmic laws. So, what does that indicate for our year to come? For looking forward, for getting through this transition into the new year? You now have access to your intuitive powers. Cool. Develop them more fully, should you so choose. Guard your independence. Haha. Question, so a point of inquiry. Are there areas in your life in which you allow others to influence you rather than trusting your own intuition? I'll repeat that so that you can really dig in and reflect. Are there areas in your life in which you allow others to influence you rather than trusting your own intuition? So you'll have more time after if you'd like to continue to dig into that question. A suggestion for this inquiry: seek out water as often as you can. So that might mean you can meditate near water, observe water, and learn. Watch it move. How does water flow? What are the little details that we might take for granted in the way that water just is? And then an affirmation that I offer you for the priestess for your new year. I trust my intuitive abilities. I trust my intuitive abilities. I trust my intuitive abilities. And so there we are. Feel free to continue to reflect on the priestess for the year to come or for any of these cards. So 2025 reflections. We pulled the Four of Cups, luxury, for our transition, the here and the now, as we're moving from this year that we've experienced to a new space. We have the inspiration of the Three of Wands, virtue. And then finally, as we're rebirthed into this new year, 2026, we have the second trumps card, the priestess, to inspire our energy, our vibes, our actions, or trust in ourselves. So that's what's up. Thanks for giving me a little time to spend with you in your corner of the world, to share my corner of the world. I hope whatever it is you're doing, whoever you're spending the rest of your year with, that it is filled with joy, reflection, and perhaps even a cup of tea. More to come. And for now, just enjoy this moment.